Hi, so I'm back with another art sketchbook video. So I recently finished my A-level in art and I got an A star, so obviously super happy. It was a lot of hard work, but it was enjoyable at the same time, don't get me wrong. So I thought I'd share some tips and advice about how I got an A star in art. And just some general inspiration for anyone else considering taking an A-level in art or who is currently doing their A-level. So this video is going to be in two parts. So part 1 AS, and I'm going to put up another video which is going to be my A2 book at a later date, but not too far away, don't worry. So you'll get to see both books in more detail. But yeah, my AS book is not probably visually the most amazing piece of work you've ever seen, but I think it's because I ticked all the right boxes. I developed my work, I did my own primary research, that and all those things combined together is what helped me get an A star. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to start off with is that a lot of people are discouraged from doing A-level art, and people say it's too much work or you're not good enough, and I think that's like total bullshit really, because anyone can do art, and I just think it's really important to not let anybody discourage you from doing it, because it's really fun and it's not time consuming if you love doing art. During my A-level I made 4 films, and those 4 films, well, 2 of them were my final pieces, and I did a lot of photography as well. I did do a lot of painting as well, but that's just because I enjoy doing that, but it's not necessarily something you have to do. So for my A-level in art, I did 4 books over the course of 2 years. So AS and A2. So 2 books for AS, Unit 1 and 2, and 2 books for A2, 3 and 4. First things first, as I said in my GCSE art, you do not have to do 4 books. You can do 2 books, 1 book for AS, 1 book for A2, and you can get an A star. I just did a lot of photography, so I had a lot of pictures that I wanted to stick in, which filled up a lot more pages. Obviously it's always quality over quantity, but you know, ideally you'd like to have a lot of quality stuff in a large quantity. So the first tip, so tip number 1, is going to be annotations. Now, I write a lot in all of my sketchbooks. You don't have to be quite as thorough as me, obviously, but some things to include in your annotation. So say if you've got a photograph or a painting or a film, or you've collected a few film stills from a director that you really like, I talk about tone, maybe the tone of the film or the tone of the painting, photograph, and obviously the colour, composition, atmosphere, the themes that you can see, maybe the historical periods and style and how that has affected the way the artist, photographer or filmmaker has decided to portray these characters or this visual scene. And obviously I talked about how it related to my work and how it inspired me and how it was going to help me develop what I wanted to do. So yeah, but obviously one big thing is annotate everything, absolutely everything. Don't be afraid not to annotate.
I'm cast adrift like a ship without an anchor. The silence will keep as my sanity sinks under. I've come to realize revenge is sweet if it is mine. I will not add fuel to fire, you will not drown my pride.
So my second tip, primary research. Now primary research is anything that is your own photography, your own films, anything that's kind of doesn't come from a secondary source like a magazine or the internet.
I'll need you to the ground and smile at death's return. I've come to realize revenge is sweet if it is mine. I will
I've mentioned this before in my GCSE book, development is such an important thing because that's you showing how you're progressing from an initial idea to your final piece. So I would always advise to use a range of people. So by that I mean, look at artists, look at conceptual artists, look at other contemporary artists, look at expressionists, look at photographers as well, and look at filmmakers. Even if you're not, even if you're doing a painting, they can be very inspiring. Tip number 4. Visit exhibitions and galleries. If you go anywhere, always get postcards because they're just brilliant things to stick in your book.
Yes, I try to avoid her eyes, 'cause her gaze is like Medusa, turn a man's heart to stone. Just a man of only flesh and bone. While she's Aphrodite with an accent. Oh, oh, oh. City of Alexander, where God sort of knew they wrong. It wasn't just my heart she stole.
Tip 5 is going to be experimentation. Try and include a little bit of diversity in your book, in whether it's style or the materials that you're using.
Oh, 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 oh. She's Aphrodite with an accent. Oh, oh,
I kind of went through all the stages of production in my book. So I wrote out a script, I did a storyboard, a rough storyboard, it wasn't very pretty, I'm not gonna lie. I wrote down a rough story guide and I stuck that in. I just stuck loads of notes in from little production notes that I'd made about which locations I was going to go to, who I was going to cast. I also did a bit of location scouting, stuck those pictures in, and character design, and obviously in regards to the production process I went through with the principal photography process, which is basically making the film. I just kind of stuck a collage of all the photos that I'd taken during the shoot. If you are doing a film, it's always useful to have somebody else there just taking photos of you doing the actor's makeup or filming, because it's great stuff to put in your book, because obviously you can't show how you're making the film, like that's such a big part of it, and it's important for you to show in photos how you were doing the lighting or how you were telling the actors to move. And obviously at the end I did the post-production process, So I got just print screens of the edits. I used this thing called Movie Edit Pro to like edit the film together, and then I used After Effects to colour correct and add all the special effects in. One thing that kind of struck me with A-level is how independent everything is. That goes for all A-levels, but particularly for art, it's just you and your initiative and your imagination and a bunch of blank pages. So don't let anybody's opinions hold you down or anything. If you want to explore something fantasy related, something a bit more conceptual, you can. You can do whatever the hell you want. Let me know how you get on. I will be posting my A2 book hopefully soon for you to check that out. So then you'll have the full A-level to see. You can ask me any more questions that you may have in the comments section, or just let me know how you get on or how you got on. Anything that if you finish it, any advice or tips that you would have given to anybody who's a prospective A-level art student. So good luck, and I will see you soon. Bye.